Hey, good people, how you doing? David Taub here, co-creator NextLevelGuitar.com. Hope all is going well, and I hope your guitar and musical journey is going famously. Today I have a little lesson on a little bending trick, string bending trick, incorporating it with a slide that can give you some really cool sounds. So let me play you that little piece of the solo where I'm doing that. So what I was doing is I was bending and then I was moving it in 3 different positions, but the trick is I was kind of sliding as I was doing it, and I was only picking it once. And that's kind of the nexus of this trick. Bending strings is one of my favorite things to do on guitar because it's one of the most expressive things, and there's so much you could do. You could bend half steps, you could bend whole steps, you could combine the bends with other devices and techniques. So to apply this in a musical situation, we're playing over a jam track, and it's just a simple 2-chord change. We're in the key of D minor, nice and wide open, only 2 chords, so it's very easy to weave a solo in and have fun. If you want some really good sounding jam tracks, click on that link below. I'll send you 6 of them and my 2 ebooks. 2 ebooks with the jam tracks paired together. It's my jam track coach. I'll send it to you for free. So let me show you the actual device that I was doing. If you're thinking D minor for this jam track, we're using D natural minor scales, D Aeolian mode. We're also, you could use D minor pentatonic and D blues scales. All that works over both chords all day long. So if you find your D natural minor scale, right, we're here at the 5th fret of the A string. That scale looks like this. A lot of people know this D minor pentatonic box shape at the 10th fret over that D note, low E string, right? Okay, so I'm kind of starting in D natural minor with the bend, and then think of it like I'm going to this D minor pentatonic box. Another reason why this works and sounds so cool is the notes that I'm bending to. So the first piece of this, think of it in 3 pieces, is we want to do a bend here in D natural minor, and we're bending from our root D up to a whole step to E, which is a great bend because we're bending from that root to the 9th, which is a great note to bend to. It has a lot of drama, that 9th, right? But I do it like this. So I'm coming here, 7th fret first, a little lead in, 7th fret on the D string, 5th fret on the G. And then what I do is I bend it up, let it down, let it bend it up again. So it's like a bend, release, bend. Okay, and then while you release it, you get that sound. I just slowed it down there. I'm sliding on that G string up to the 12th fret, and I'm bending, like think of that like you're in D minor pentatonic. I'm bending a whole step on that G string from the 12th to the 14th fret, and that's our G note. I'm bending it to an A. That's also a nice bend in D minor because we're bending that A note as our 5th. Again, these strong notes, these target notes, and you want to make sure you're bending in pitch, are important because that's what helps to make the lick sound so cool, is we're bending to these really strong notes of the chord. If I do it slow, and notice I just picked the first note of the bend. And then I'm sliding and bending without picking again. Alright? And then the next thing I do is I'm going to take that, much like I did the first one, and I'm going to slide that up to the 17th fret. That's a C note here on the G string. But I'm bending that up to the root note D. Right? That's why that lick sounds so cool at the end, because we're bending to the root, right? So you get this. And then I let it down and vibrato it. So that second part is... Okay. So again, I'm bending up on that G string at the 12th. As I'm letting it down, I'm sliding and then bending up on that 17th fret, bending that up a whole step. And then as you're letting it down, if you want to pick it and vibrato it, you can. Try to do it really slow. And you hear those in-between kind of slides, and you're hitting all those notes, but your ear doesn't have a chance to pick up the dissonance, right? Because it's happening so quickly, but it gives you those cool sounds. If you have a second, please subscribe to the channel. Subscribing to the channel, that really helps us. It helps us to keep bringing the content, right? And if you like the video, please give it a like. Click the thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Let us know how you like this lesson or what lessons you'd like to see coming up. When we get up here, what you might think of this as, up here at the 17th fret, is think of it as G minor pentatonic. That's our root note, 15th fret on the low E string. Okay, so you're saying, well, you're playing G minor pentatonic over this D minor thing. What's that about? Well, here's a little trick. Why this works is if you look at the notes in G minor pentatonic, G, B flat, C, D, and F, right? Let's look at D natural minor. All those notes, those 5 notes, are in D natural minor, right? D, E, F, there's our F, right? G, A, B flat, C. So it works because those are the same notes. We're just looking at it a little bit differently. Now, if you want to look at it like this, think of it like if you're playing in natural minor, you can play that minor pentatonic scale up a 4th from the root. We're in D minor. If you go up a 4th, you have G. And that's how you can always tell when this works. You're playing that one, that other key you're playing. If you think about it like that, think about it as G minor pentatonic, which is a 4th above the root, which is D. And you might say, well, how do I know what's the 4th above? Well, you can count the notes, or here's an easy 4th finder, right? Find your root note on the low E string. In this instance, D, we're in D minor, right? 10th fret. Your perfect 4th, your 4th will be exactly below that on the A string. So if I'm on the 10th fret, E, the 4th would be G, 10th fret, A string. Right? Easy. If I was playing this and I wanted to do that and figure this out in the key of B, what's the 4th? Well, go to your B note on the low E string at the 7th fret. And then right below that, on the A string, is my E. That's the 4th, perfect 4th of B, E. And you can do all kinds of variations of things like that where you're kind of going between 2 bends and sliding, you know? I mean, the sky's the limit. Just got to get creative with it. You know, put your own spin on things. Put a jam track on, just get lost. You don't have to just always bend strings the same way, you know. Here we're bending and sliding, and we're only picking once, and we're moving it around on one string. If you want some really good sounding jam tracks, click on that link below. I'll send you 6 of them and my 2 ebooks. 2 ebooks with the jam tracks paired together. It's my jam track coach. I'll send it to you for free. Also, subscribe to the channel. That really helps us to keep bringing the content, right? Leave a comment below. Thank you so much for your support. Stay creative, experiment, and remember, your guitar playing is an evolution. Take care and rock on.